Barcelona 5, Sevilla 2. And ladies and gentlemen, that is the performance I wanted to see. That is the reaction that we wanted to see. That was the performance of champions. Barcelona absolutely cooked Sevilla. This game wasn't even close. We could have won this game by 7 to 8 goals, but in the end, it ended 5-2. And on paper, it looks like a scoreline where both teams went at it, but it wasn't. I can promise you it wasn't. It was nothing short of a 5-star performance, capped off with Raphinha's hat-trick, with Dani Olmo's goal, with João Cancelo scoring of the goal of the game, and obviously, man, let's not forget about the return of the Crown Prince, man like Gavi, ladies and gentlemen. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel, guys. Welcome back to Omar Talks Football. And yes, this is the instant match reaction of the Barcelona versus Sevilla game at home at the Camp Nou. We knew, ladies and gentlemen, that this was a huge game. Obviously, Real Madrid did the job yesterday against Elche, so it was time for us, the champions, to respond. And damn right, we did respond. What a performance, ladies and gentlemen. And you know what? Fair play to the team, fair play to players, because today, obviously, it's a huge day, right? The football, as important as it is, it's not the main thing. We know that right now, as we speak right now, the election is currently commencing. We will know by the end of the day whether Laporta stays, whether Victor Font is the new president, and with all of that, the focus wasn't on the football pitch most of the time. But the players today, they responded, and they responded well. And look, let's get straight into the game, guys. From this starting 11, I'll be honest, man, I was very, very surprised with certain players who made the squad today. Obviously, man, today we saw the debut or the start of Javier Espart. I'm happy to see the youngster finally given an opportunity. Obviously, we've seen him play, a few times now, and clearly he's a player that the manager sees a lot of future in. I was also very happy to see this man right here, Ronnie Bagdashi. Today, ladies and gentlemen, he made his first start in a while. I was so happy to see him start, and I was actually alluding to the idea of him starting today. I did put it in the air, and I'm glad that today Hansi Flick actually decided to do that. Obviously, one surprise was seeing Bernal today in the starting 11. Obviously, we saw him come off in the Newcastle game with a cramp. We thought maybe Casado would start today, but Bernal today started, and he cooked. He absolutely cooked as usual, and I was happy to also see Robert Lewandowski today once again start another game. And also, guys, Raphinha, he started in this game. I thought maybe he would have been benched for Rashford, but he started. And you know what? In the end, it didn't matter, because guess what? The manager clearly saw something that I didn't, because in the end, Raphinha got his hat-trick. And look, I'm going to be very honest with you guys. From the start of the game, we were on their necks, right? You could tell the intention from this team. We went at it from minute one, and it was an amazing start. I was very, very proud with the intensity that I was seeing. It was a great performance, and obviously, the stadium is in a bigger capacity, so the atmosphere today was incredible, right? Shout outs to the Coles out there today. They were absolutely incredible. They were loud, they were vocal, and it was beautiful to see. And from the start, man, we got an early goal from the penalty spot, and it was a rightful penalty, right? Absolutely, terrible mistake by the Sevilla player. And you know what? At the end of the day, it didn't matter, right? He completely bulldozed them. The referee promised to the spot penalty. Raphinha stepped up, which I was happy to see, because I was worried that Lewandowski would have taken it. But Raphinha stepped up, and wow. The audacity of man like Rafa, right? After the, questions that has been coming on Raphinha last few weeks. Even I've been questioning his performances recently. It was good to see him react today. Took the penalty, absolutely chipped it. Cheeky from the player, and obviously it went at the back of the net. What a goal. And that was, right? And I was happy to see him score, because clearly, he's been a player who, since his return from injury, he's kind of had a very slow start. So to see him get back on the, score sheet was beautiful to see. And obviously, early goal, we continue moving on, we continue playing well. And Sevilla, they were attacking a few times that they had the ball, but mainly we were very much in control. And we did get another goal from the spot again. And you know what, right? A lot of people, obviously they're going to make debates about it. And you know what, you guys in the comment section below, you tell me what you guys think. For me, I think it was a pen. I think that the players, he clearly raised his hand right at the last moment. Many people were saying that, well, he was trying to head the ball while he was down. But at the end of the day, the hand moved in an unnatural position. So the referee gives away the spot. And it once again is a penalty. And I was surprised that Raphinha took it. I thought maybe this time around he might have given it to Robert. But he decided to take it again, and he scored. And you know what, right? I need to say this, right? before I talk about the third goal, I mentioned Lewandowski a few times. Today he had a very, very, many people might call out his performance and say, he should have scored, right? He had a golden opportunity in the game, which I will get into. But I was very, very proud with how good he played because he put himself out there, right? But, as far as the third goal is concerned, obviously beautiful goal, like pass by, I think it was Gerard Martin who found Bernard. Bernard crosses it in, aimless cross. Out of nowhere, Dani Olmo just came out of nowhere and just smashed it, make it 3-0. And you know what, just like I mentioned with Raphinha, Olmo needed that. Olmo needed that goal. He needed that goal more than any other player, man. Like his form has really dwindled recently. To get that goal, I was happy for him, right? And this is the kind of things that I wanted to see, and that's why I was very happy with today's performances, especially from the people who scored today. Because I feel like for most of them, like for someone like Raphinha, right, he's a confident player. I feel like getting a hat trick today will basically give him the confidence for the midweek game in the Champions League. And Dani Olmo, whose form has been kind of dwindled off, to get a goal today, that will increase his confidence. And you know what, right? It looked like we were gonna run out of set before the 40th minute. We were already 3-0 up, and I was thinking, we could actually go on a riot here. This could end 6-0, right? And let's be real, right? I feel like we put our foot off the gas because we could have. But like I mentioned, speaking of putting our foot off the gas, we did. Right before halftime, we ended up conceding, right? It was not good enough. The defense completely went asleep, right? And you know what, right? It was one of those, I couldn't believe like the amount of space he had inside the box, but at the end of the day, he got his goal, 3-1 halftime. And you know what, right? I was thinking, okay, it's a bummer that we ended up considering right before halftime, but we have a comfortable lead. Let's see what happens second half. Maybe Flick might decide to bench Raphinha, right? Maybe bench guys like Lewandowski and Pedri and all these guys early, now that we have a 2-goal advantage. But no, he actually brought, the same 11 back, and we saw Raphinha who came in, and then within like 5 minutes of the second half starting, he got his hat trick. Huge deflection, but a goal is a goal. He got his goal and he got his hat trick, and I was so happy for him, right? It was a great performance and capped off with a hat trick. And you know what? In the end, we did get, obviously, the 5th goal. And you know what? This is the goal I do want to talk about the most, because man like Cancelo. I told people about Cancelo. I've been telling people from the moment he signed for the club in January, I was saying, guys, we need to see this guy start. The attacking mindset that he has would work perfectly under this manager, because the manager wants his players to go forward. We go forward, we need to go in numbers. And you saw it today, man. What a goal, man. He took that like a winger, man. Absolutely incredible. Took the ball right, absolutely cooked the defender, put it on the bottom left hand corner, and beautiful goal. Beautiful goal. I mean, bottom right hand corner. But you get the point, right? It was a low shot, driven shot straight at the back of the net, and that was the goal of the day, man. I was so happy. That's his first goal, obviously, since his return to Barcelona. And you know what? Those kind of performances is what I want to keep seeing, and that is why I want him to stick around much longer. But yeah, in the end, it was 5-1. And you know what's crazy? We were 5-1 up before the 70th minute. Right, it was that easy. And you know what, the fact that today, guys like Yamal didn't start, they came on from the bench, right? We also saw Gavi, who I'm going to mention today. He also came off the bench, right? And also, right, like I mentioned, we scored 5 goals, but we could have scored more. Robert Lewandowski today, right? Many people are going to criticize performance. I'm not, because the biggest criticism I always have given to Ferran Torres is the fact that he's not always at the right place at the right time. He's not in the places where he could take those chances, where he could be at the places where he could score. One thing I will give Lewandowski today is that he was putting himself out there, and you know what, he was just unlucky. He had a great chance in the second half, right? Great ball from Fermin, right, to find Robert Lewandowski, and Robert Lewandowski tried to shift it to his right foot. Absolutely, he absolutely hit it as best as he could. Just unlucky, right? Ended up going out wide, and yeah, at the end of the day, we also had a corner. Araujo, didn't mistime the header. That could have also been a goal. Honestly, we could have scored 6 or 7 goals in this game, but we didn't. In the end, we only scored 5, and in the end, we did concede right at the end. Barcelona did end up conceding right late, kind of put our foot off the gas, and then we ended up, taking 5-2, concede a second, which I'll be honest, I was a little bit disappointed. I did want it to, keep a clean sheet. But you know what? It is what it is. The 3 points is what mattered. And in the end, we got all 3 points. And that, like I said, is what matters. 4 points clear once again. Lonely at the top. And yeah, man, listen. Let's get straight into, my personal match ratings of the game, guys. And look, today, João Garcia didn't really have to do much today, to be honest, right? He's still considered 2. So because of that, because, he didn't have much to do and he ended up conceding, I will give him a 6 out of 10 for me. Kobashi today was relatively quiet today. I don't think he really had his best of performances. But at the end of the day, I'll probably just give him a 6 too. Gerard Martin is the one that impressed me today the most. He was the one that impressed me. Even as a centre back, he was going forward a lot in the game. He had an opportunity in the first half where he literally went through the whole team and nearly scored. He was playing a centre back today. I actually thought he was playing a left back at some point. But that's how good he was. And I'm going to give him a 7.5. He played very, very well today. João Cancelo today at left back, absolutely incredible, amazing performance, capped up with a goal. For me, he gets an 8. Javi Espar today, he was pretty good today at left back today. Very, very impressed with him. He absolutely was incredible. And you know what, this kid, he has a future at this club, man. Man like Jules Koundé needs to be very, very careful because this guy, he's here to take his spot. And today, for me, he gets a 7 out of 10. Marc Bernal today, I was surprised to see him start. He came on today. He started in the game. And he cooked in the first half. I'll give him a 7. Pedri came off today early, right? I did actually forget that he did come off very early today, which I was very, very happy with. Really didn't do much in the game. Didn't need to. At the end of the day, we were dominant. Standard 6 out of 10. Dani Olmo today, great performance today, right? He got the goals, right? He got the goal today, which he definitely needed after, frequent poor performances we've seen in the last recent games. For him to get a goal today, I was very happy for him. And yeah, for me, he gets I'll give him an 8. I'll give him an 8 too. Ronnie Bajdi today, he came on today. He started today, which I was very, very happy to see. Really, he had a few opportunities, put the ball in the box a few times today, put a few good crosses today. I was very, very, impressed with him. Didn't really, had, I would say, top 10 out of 10 performance, but he was a good enough performance, which should give him a more opportunity in this team. So I'll give him a 7 out of 10, right? But this is the man today, the man of the hour, man like Raphinha today. Hat-trick today, 2 penalties, and obviously a deflected goal. Many people are going to say, oh, it's a Flugazi hat-trick. Who cares? He got a hat-trick nonetheless. And he had a great performance today. He was everywhere. Once again, man, showing that heart. Today, for me, he gets a 10. Give him a 10 because he has a hat-trick. And Robert Lewandowski today, man, frustrating for him personally. You could tell, man, he really wanted that goal, man. He was so angry with himself in the end that he didn't get a goal today. He could have had a hat-trick easy, right? And, but I was happy to see him today put himself out there. That's all I want from my striker. I want my striker to be a nuisance, and he was a nuisance. So you know what? 7 out of 10 for man like Robert Lewandowski. But obviously, guys, we wouldn't end this without looking one more time at the table, ladies and gentlemen, because it is lonely at the top. Once again, 40 points, ladies and gentlemen. And now there's only 10 more games left in the season, and now we are in a very, very good position, ladies and gentlemen. But let me know what you guys think about the performance today. What do you guys think about the performance? Who impressed you the most? Who didn't impress you? Get in the comment section. Let me know, guys. Big up to every single one of you. Make sure you guys smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, all the beautiful stuff. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, it is lonely at the top. Visca el Barça, Visca el Catalonia. And peace. Take care.